Everyone knows Taylor Swift, the pop queen who redefined an entire generation's soundtrack. Her songs aren't just music. They're timestamps of heartbreak, ambition, and reinvention. But behind the record-breaking tours and polished smiles lies something far darker. A story of manipulation, betrayal, and the dangerous illusion of control. It's a truth hidden in plain sight, woven between chart-topping lyrics and media headlines that never stop writing her story for her. Taylor Allison Swift was born on December 13, 1989, in Reading, Pennsylvania, a small-town girl with skyscraper-sized dreams. She wasn't born into Hollywood. There was no secret door waiting for her in Los Angeles. Just a 12-year-old with a guitar and an obsession with words. She'd sit for hours turning feelings into lyrics, scribbling lines that no one else would ever see. When her parents realized this wasn't a phase, they made a life-changing decision. They sold everything and moved to Nashville, the heart of country music, so their daughter could chase a future that didn't even exist yet. The move was a gamble, but Taylor had something Nashville couldn't ignore: persistence. She handed out demo CDs, performed at cafes, begged producers to listen. Most brushed her off. Too young, too naive, but she kept showing up. Until one day, a man named Scott Borchetta, who had just founded Big Machine Records, took a chance on her. That single decision would change music history forever. Her debut album, Taylor Swift, was pure country innocence, storytelling in its simplest form. Songs like Tim McGraw and Teardrops on My Guitar turned teenage emotion into poetic currency. Audiences connected instantly. Here was a young girl writing what everyone else was too afraid to say out loud. She wasn't performing heartbreak. She was living it, and America loved her for it. But as her fame skyrocketed, something else began to grow. Expectation. The industry didn't just see a singer anymore. They saw a product, a brand, a goldmine. Every photo shoot had to be perfect. Every interview rehearsed. Every relationship timed and managed. Taylor had become the face of American innocence. And that image was now more valuable than her music. The higher she climbed, the thinner the air became. Fame demands perfection, and perfection demands control. Taylor began to learn that controlling her image was the only way to survive. Every smile became calculated. Every outfit symbolized something. The world didn't want Taylor the person. It wanted Taylor the phenomenon. And the more she gave them, the less of herself remained. Then came that night. The night that split her story in two. The 2009 MTV Video Music Awards. Taylor, just 19, standing on stage, glowing in her first real moment of victory. Then Kanye West stormed the stage, interrupting her acceptance speech, declaring someone else deserved her award. It lasted only seconds, but it would haunt her for years. The crowd booed. Taylor froze. Cameras rolled. The entire world watched a teenage girl humiliated on live television. That clip replayed endlessly. In memes, in talk shows, in jokes that followed her everywhere. For most, that would have been the end. But Taylor's greatest strength has always been her ability to weaponize pain. She wrote about it. She sang through it. She turned her humiliation into fuel. Each insult became a lyric. Each scandal, a verse. She learned that in the modern world, the story isn't what happens to you. It's how you frame it. Her second and third albums, Fearless and Speak Now, transformed her into a superstar. The innocence was still there, but now there was steel beneath it. She had learned that the same public that adores you will eventually crave your downfall, and when it came, she was ready. The next few years brought more success and more chaos. The media turned her dating life into a sport. Every breakup became a headline, every new song a clue. Taylor, the storyteller, was now trapped in her own narrative. The more she tried to be authentic, the more the world twisted her story into gossip. Fame had given her everything, but also taken her voice. By 2016, things reached a breaking point. Another feud with Kanye, a leaked phone call. Social media went to war. Taylor Swift Eyes Over party trended for days. Millions joined in mocking her. Friends disappeared. Brands distanced themselves. The media labeled her manipulative, fake, and over. The same outlets that once worshipped her now declared her finished. So she vanished. For almost a year, Taylor Swift, the woman who lived in the spotlight, went completely silent. No interviews, no Instagram posts, no award appearances, just silence. The world thought she'd quit, but in reality, she was reloading. When she returned, she didn't come back quietly. She came back with reputation. The snakes, the sharp black and white aesthetic, the anger, the sarcasm, the self-awareness. Reputation wasn't just an album. It was a statement. Taylor had taken everything the media threw at her. Every insult, every rumor, every betrayal, and turned it into an identity. Look What You Made Me Do wasn't just a song, it was a warning. The old Taylor, she said, was dead. But that death was liberation. For the first time, Taylor stopped trying to please the world. She stopped chasing approval and started commanding attention. She embraced the villain role, and the world couldn't look away. The irony? By embracing the darkness, she found a new kind of light. Power. Yet the fight was far from over. In 2019, Taylor's past came back to haunt her. Scooter Braun, a powerful music manager, acquired Big Machine Records, and with it, the master recordings of her first 6 albums. That meant every song she wrote in her teenage bedroom now legally belonged to someone else. The emotional diary of her life was no longer hers. It was the ultimate betrayal. The industry taking ownership of the very soul it once ignored. Most artists would have broken down. Taylor broke the system instead. She announced she'd re-record every single song. One by one, Taylor's versions began to replace the old masters. Fans rallied behind her. The industry watched in shock as she did something no one had ever done before. Reclaim her past with her present power. That's not rebellion, that's evolution. Today, Taylor Swift isn't just a pop star. She's a business empire, a storyteller, a symbol of resilience. Her Eras Tour became the highest-grossing tour in history, pulling billions in revenue and transforming cities into Swiftie capitals. But behind every spotlight and confetti shower, the same question lingers. At what cost? Because fame doesn't forgive. It demands constant reinvention. Taylor's life has become a cycle. Rise, fall, reinvention, repeat. Every time she finds peace, the machine wants more. More songs, more stories, more secrets. And she delivers, because she knows the moment she stops, the world will move on. In interviews, she's admitted to exhaustion, anxiety, and isolation. Fame looks glamorous from the outside, but it's a cage made of admiration. When you're adored by millions, you stop belonging to yourself. Every decision becomes a headline. Every mistake becomes a scandal. She's learned to smile through it, to narrate her pain with melody. But behind the confidence lies a lifetime of self-doubt. A constant whisper asking, who am I when they're not watching? The truth is, Taylor Swift didn't just survive the music industry. She outsmarted it. She learned its language, its greed, its manipulation, and turned it against itself. She became her own label, her own marketing machine, her own myth. But myths are lonely things. They live forever, but they can't rest. And that's the dark truth about fame. It doesn't let you stop being famous. The audience that builds you can destroy you overnight. The system that rewards your vulnerability will exploit it endlessly. Taylor mastered that system, but mastery doesn't equal freedom. It's control. And control, in its own way, is another prison. When you watch her on stage, thousands of lights flickering like stars, it feels like she's untouchable. But beneath the glitter and the choreography lies the same girl from Pennsylvania. Still writing, still trying to be understood, still fighting to keep a piece of herself in a world that wants all of her. The dark truth isn't that Taylor Swift traded her soul for success. It's that the world demanded it, and she gave it little by little to survive. She turned pain into power, betrayal into business, heartbreak into history. And through it all, she's remained a mirror of us. Our obsession with perfection, our hunger for drama, our endless need to watch someone rise just so we can see if they'll fall. Taylor Swift's rise to power is more than music history. It's a cautionary tale about the cost of being extraordinary in a world that punishes vulnerability. She became the hero and the villain of her own story, rewriting the rules every time someone tried to erase her. But the question remains, how long can someone fight a system that feeds on their soul and still remain whole? Because in the end, the dark truth is this: fame doesn't make you free, it makes you famous. And those two things are not the same.